Hi guys, now I will give a fun fact and a brief knowledge about bacteria. First of all, there are two misconceptions we developed about bacteria. Number one is that we always thought that bacteria were only can be found on or in things that had gotten contaminated. And number two is that bacteria are always bad. Those are both not correct. So, where can we find bacteria? Bacteria actually are everywhere. Bacteria can be found in our house, even clean house. Bacteria can also be found outside. Bacteria can colonize our skin and our digestive system. Next, not all bacteria are bad. In fact, many types of bacteria are helpful for organism and ecosystem. I will give some example. Some bacteria that colonize our skin are beneficial and actually keep harmful strains and other types of pathogens from growing. Bacteria in your digestive system actually help break down food, and some can produce certain vitamins. Some type of bacteria are used in producing some food that we eat. In ecosystem, bacteria have a very important role as decomposer. Bacteria also have major roles in the nitrogen cycle to fix nitrogen that plants need. There are just a few examples of helpful beneficial bacteria. However, bacteria can also be a pathogen. Bacteria are the cause of strep throat, tetanus, tooth decay, some form of pneumonia, diphtheria, salmonella, and cholera. Bacteria also come from different types of shape, as you can see here. Some of them are heterotroph, meaning they consume or feed on some organic matter, but some are autotroph. They can make their own food. After that, depending on species, bacteria can have flagellum to help with movement, capsule that can help give them extra protection or attachment abilities, pili to help with attaching to surface including each other. Oh, and many bacterial species have a plasmid, which is basically like extra DNA. Moreover, bacteria generally multiply even faster in a process called binary fission. Lastly, some types of bacteria can form endospore. It allows bacteria to be survivors in all kinds of hostile environment, such as in lack of nutrient, freezing temperature, and drought. That's all from me.
What exactly is eukaryote? Eukaryotic cells are eukaryote, and they are classified under domain eukarya. Eukaryotic also means possessing true nucleus. By nucleus, it is a key factor that differentiates eukaryote and prokaryote, because eukaryote contains nucleus, which is a circular membrane-bound organelle that contains the chromosome, whereas prokaryote only have a single circular chromosome that are not bound by membrane. Another thing that differentiates eukaryote and prokaryote is eukaryote contains membrane-bound organelles. For example, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, vacuole, Golgi apparatus, and mitochondria. And all of these organelles carry out compartmentalized function, which means that each organelles have different function. By now, you can probably imagine that with all of these organelles contained inside eukaryotic cell, of course eukaryotic cells are much more complex than prokaryotic cells. An eukaryotic cell is also bigger in size compared to prokaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell can be multicellular and unicellular organism. Because eukaryotic cells are much more complex compared to prokaryotic cell, they divide in a much more complex way, which is by mitosis. Domains eukarya contains animalia, plantae, fungi, and protists. So by now, you probably know that you yourself are eukaryote.
Firstly, we will look at the function of cell membrane, or also known as plasma membrane. Cell membrane is to provide the protection for a cell, also allowing transport into the cell of essential nutrient and movement from the cell of waste product. Next is ribosome. Ribosome is two subunits made of ribosomal RNAs and proteins. It can be free in cytosol or bound to endoplasmic reticulum. So the function of ribosome is for protein synthesis. Third, cytoplasm is a jelly-like substances where the chemical reaction happens. Next, we will look at the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum divided into two parts, which are smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum. The function for rough endoplasmic reticulum is to produce protein for the rest of the cell to function. Meanwhile, smooth endoplasmic reticulum function in many metabolic processes. It synthesizes lipids, phospholipids, as in plasma membrane and steroid. Besides that, Golgi apparatus is an organelle active in synthesis, modification, sorting, and secretion of cell products. We move on to nucleus, which the function is to carry genetic information and control the movement of the cell. Meanwhile, nucleus is a non-membranous structure involved in the production of ribosome. Then, we look into mitochondria. Mitochondria is an organelle where the cellular respiration occurs and most ATP is generated. Next, vacuole. Vacuole contains a liquid called cell sap, which keeps the cell firm. Last but not least is lysosome. Lysosome is a membranous site of hydrolytic enzymes in animal cell. The function of lysosome is to break down of ingested substances, cell macromolecules, and damaged organelles for recycling.